Hello again, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. At the eBay All Ears event that happened a few months back, I met a guy who liked what he was selling, didn't want to change what he was selling, and didn't want to change how he went about selling it. Essentially, he didn't want to change. He was still insisting on not sending things with tracked parcels, even though he could. He was not going to use the tracked envelopes that were cheaper. He wanted to just stick to his stamps. Essentially, what he was saying was, your eBay has asked me to spend $1 to $2 more for a tracked envelope, and I refuse to do it because I should be able to still do things the way I used to. He was not interested in buying his items cheaper. He was not interested in, figuring out how he could do things quicker. He wanted to do things the same, because as far as he's concerned, that's the way. And it got me thinking about my experience back in the bank. I used to work for a manager that I didn't want to work for long term because she was a micromanager. Everything was based on her protecting her numbers, not growing her numbers, protecting her numbers. And I'm sure some of you have managers like that as well, where it's about cost saving, it's about not using too much stationery, it's about not doing this or that, not going above and beyond. It's just doing you're doing what is your job. And eventually I went and worked at the branch across the road with a manager who was about growing that number. It was a manager who was outperforming this female manager. And the funny thing was, the female manager had a branch in a shopping center with heaps of walking traffic. The male manager across the road was the one outside that people usually would only go to if they wanted to go to the bank specifically. And he would network, he would bring more business in. And this experience encapsulates that. Okay, he brought in some customers from overseas that he had met through some networking event. And as they were going into his office, he said to me, "Make some coffee." I go upstairs, I make coffee, and then I enter to the room. The customer said, "Whoa, you didn't have to make us coffee. We didn't. Did you ask for coffee?" They were pointing at each other. And then the manager goes, "I didn't ask you to make coffee." And I went, "Oh, I just thought it was a good idea to make coffee. So I made them coffee." And everyone was happy. The conversation leveled up. Manager comes out and goes, "They need to open these many accounts. They look to apply for this many things." And I essentially hit my daily target from that one encounter. Conversely, when I was at the branch with the female manager, who was all about protecting the numbers and all about, not getting into trouble, it's all about cost saving. Chinese New Year came, and she was giving us out these red packets. And for those of you who don't know, during Chinese New Year, we give red packets to kids, usually with money. It's a way to kind of like welcome in the new year, wish people prosperity. Those red packets usually get given by banks and other big companies as a way of, like, I guess, incurring goodwill. And they come in packets of like 10. And what you're supposed to do is just give them a brand new packet of 10. She'd ordered not enough, and then she said to us, "Give each customer who asked for it one packet," which means open this packet of 10 and give them one. Those of you who are not Chinese, that's bad, because you're essentially saying, "I don't want to give you the full prosperity, I just want to give you like 10%. And that's just bad juju in general, right? And she refused to listen to us. And so eventually we just decided collectively as the floor staff, we were just going to give the full packet anyways, and we ran out, we'll just tell her we ran out, and for them to go speak to the manager. And so I share with you these two stories is because there are two ways to grow a business. Actually, no, wait, there's one way to grow a business, a way to just stay in business. I can tell you that none of us wanted to be in that business that just wanted to stay in business. It was a business that stayed in business for the most part because it was in a good location. That's it. Like, my eyes were open going to this smaller branch, literally just across the road. And the fact that we would do so much better without the foot traffic made me go, imagine if we did that here with the foot traffic. But we never got the chance because the manager said no. So I think with eBay it's the same thing. It's like, there are so many ways that you can grow your business if you change with the times, if you recognize the things that you need to actually like level up. And there's so many creative ways for you to do that, similar to that coffee situation, right? If you just insist on doing what you're comfortable with, insist on not giving promoted listings a try, insisting on not running coupons, insisting on not revising your prices, because you know what, I know my market and it will sell anyways, then you know what, you'll probably stay in business, but you're not going to grow. And eventually when competition keeps increasing, you're going to find that you know your stale listings don't get as many views, and the stubbornness just doesn't pay. So here's to being adaptable, here's to being forever improving, because it pays to improve, it pays to be creative, it pays to do better for our buyers. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Until the next one, like and subscribe, and I'll see you. Bye.